When you said that Rishi Sunak was not patriotic for coming home earlier than D-Day celebrations, you were criticised as being an attack on his Indian heritage. Was that what you were doing?
No, his class.
It was a class issue.
And it isn't just Winchester and Oxford and Goldman Sachs.
He grew up in a pharmacy. I mean, what class is that?
Do you think he could walk in this pub and drink with the locals?
I think he could, actually, yeah.
Oh, don't talk rot. I mean, he would.
Why couldn't he?
Do you remember when he was doing the charity stuff at Christmas? He was dishing out the food to the homeless. And some chap was talking to him. He said, "Oh, are you looking for a career in financial services?" I mean, come on. I mean, the guy is... He should have known...
What to say?
That the grand reunion of the surviving American, British and Canadian veterans...
That was the afternoon.
For the last... Yeah, that was the big ceremony. There were several small British ceremonies, relatively small British ceremonies. This was the big one, where the three countries that took part in D-Day came together, and he didn't think it was...
So not patriotic is an attack on his class, nothing else.
It's an attack on his detachment.
Detachment from it. This row about candidates, I've been covering you as a journalist for 15 years probably. You've always worried about... I mean, it's what you drove away from UKIP in 2015 was being blamed.
Yeah, I got rid of it.
You got really angry, didn't you, about being blamed for them, for candidates?
I got rid of it from UKIP. When I launched the Brexit Party, we had no such accusation at any stage at all. We walked into the European Parliament with 29 MEPs who were the most diverse group that had ever been in the European Parliament. And by the way, not chosen because they were X, Y or Z, chosen on ability. So if I'd known what I was inheriting a month ago, well,
you'd have...
I still have done it, but I mean, clearly.
Would you not have done it if you'd known? Because it annoys you so much. And
it annoys me greatly, but I can see what happened. They literally put out a Charlie article. Anyone that wants to stand, please come and stand. And one of the ironies of this, Chris, is having smashed the BNP out of existence, some of these really fringy, unpleasant types have got nowhere else to go. I will, starting on Friday, professionalise Reform UK, democratise Reform UK, build a branch structure around the country. And do you know what really matters? Yes, I want us to be the voice of opposition in the House of Commons. The Conservatives can't be. Sunak won't be there. They're divided. I want to be the voice of opposition to Starmer in the Commons, but more importantly, in the country. And the ambition, we establish this bridgehead tomorrow and then build a mass movement for real change.
We'll come to that in a second. What do you think of this criticism of Keir Starmer not working Friday evenings with his family? Do you understand that as a family man? Is it overblown?
It's a clever trick. He's played a clever trick on the Tories by saying on Fridays. They say, oh, goodness me.
What's the trick?
The trick is his wife's Jewish, and of course Friday evenings to the Jewish community are a vital time. He's lured them
into being critical of him.
Into being critical of him.
It's a faith issue.
And then the Guardian came back and says anti-Semitic to say what he
Was
said.
he anti-Semitic?
No, he was playing a game with them. I mean, look, Keir Starmer is not an entrepreneur. You've basically got two men who are competing to be who's the next middle manager of Britain. That's what we're really talking about. There's no drive, there's no passion, there's no real leadership. And frankly, with Labour, we'll get more of the same, just a little bit worse. And what we're saying is, let's take a radical step forwards.
If you weren't here in the pub now, you'd be probably in America, helping out Donald Trump's campaign, doing the spin operation. Has he offered you any advice on his campaign?
No.
Have you asked for any?
No.
When did you last talk to him?
I can't remember.
No. If elected, will your special relationship with him be more important than the one with the Prime Minister?
Well, I think Britain's relationship with America is crucial, and I am really pleased. I mean this, for all Labour's faults and for all Labour's lack of talent, the fact that David Lammy, who is about to become our Foreign Secretary, we believe...
Is that a good thing with the new Foreign Secretary, by the way? He has been critical of Trump in the past.
That is not my call. This is going to be Starmer's call. But if it is Lammy, the fact that he is now reaching out to the Trump team...
Because he has to.
Have conversations. And they asked me about it. The Trump team asked me about it, and I said, yes, do talk to David Lammy. Even if your politics are different, our relationship with America in a world that's closer to global conflagration than it's been for over 60 years is crucial.
As I said earlier, I've been with you on your electoral journey over the past 10 years plus. I was with you in your triumphs in 2014, 2019 in the EU elections, and when you didn't work out for you in 2015, when you resigned. And
when the agent went to prison for the Conservative Party.
Let's move on, 2015, 2019. Is this it if you're not elected to Parliament this time? Or will you carry through your 5-year plan?
No. We're going to build a mass movement.
You will stay in politics.
We are going to build a mass movement around the country, regardless.
And you'll stay on as leader of the Reform UK Party?
I will until somebody younger and better looking comes along.
And when is that? So you'll see through to the next election in 2029?
Unless somebody younger and better comes along. And when they do, I'll recognise it. I'm not quite the egomaniac people think.
Do you want to mount a takeover of the Tory party?
There is no Conservative Party.
There is a party, it's called the Tory party.
Yeah, it's a broad church with no religion. Doesn't believe in anything. I will tell you this. All the campaigns I've fought, all the ups and downs I've fought over the years, I have never seen the level of enthusiasm we are now garnering from Reform UK. How many of them there are, we'll find out after 10 o'clock tomorrow.
Some see you as a saviour of the Tory party. Or was that Boris Johnson? You saw him come back?
I saved them in 2019. I saved them by getting rid of Theresa May.
And got no thanks for it.
I then stood aside with Boris Johnson and watched them betray everything they were.
But isn't he look at the response last night in that rally that the Tories held?
No. 125 employees mostly in a room. Compare that to 5,000 we had in Birmingham at the weekend. I've never seen enthusiasm like this. There is an appetite for real change, a feeling that Westminster is out of touch, and we are reflective of that. Tomorrow is just the first major step of a new political...
I've been looking back at some of the stuff we've written about you in the past. 2015, 1 MP, 3.9 million votes. We're going to repeat ourselves, aren't we, again? A few MPs and millions of votes, and then you'll be...
Okay, first things first, we will get much more than 4 million votes.
How many MPs will you get?
Many, I've no idea.
How many votes?
I'm hoping it'll be well above 5 million, and I think 6 million is very possible. Very, very possible.
That's 1 in 5 of the electorate.
That's what I believe will happen, yes. Will the seats we win be proportional? Probably not. And then Labour might get 37% of the vote and have the biggest parliamentary majority in history. And by this time next week...
Helped by you?
By this time... No.
Helped by you, going back to the beginning?
No, the Tories have done themselves in. By this time next week, the campaign for electoral reform will be in full cry.
Okay.
I know, because I'm going to be part of it.
Just finally, how are you doing? How's the impact on you and your children? This is something you never thought you'd do.
Well, luckily...
Until a month ago.
Luckily, the children are all grown up. Well, I had my first grandson last week, which is rather
Made
exciting.
you cry, apparently.
Well, I don't know about that, but nearly. Do you know something? I mean, you know me well enough to know that I work hard, I play hard. I've literally been living on about 4 to 4.5 hours sleep a night for a month. And I'm quite looking forward
having a rest.
Just to have a little bit of downtime.